So a little background to why I decided to pursue ECIH, and the reason was that as part of the capability which I lead, which is cybersecurity for KPMG UAE, we started ramping up our team in terms of the incident response digital forensic skill sets. In order to do that, we decided to build the skills of the people before they are battle tested into real-time projects. And we thought the best way is to create a journey in terms of getting them accredited to certifications or rather courses. As part of that, we thought around 1.5 years ago to start with some initial steps to give them some training, give them some in-house sessions, and then start getting them accredited to industry-leading certifications, which will be easily accepted by the clients, and also ensure that their on-paper skill sets, CV on the on-paper skill sets, and the qualifications they have caters to their hands-on skill sets. And as part of that, ECIH came up as one of the very solid certifications which could be done by people between mid-level to up to a senior level experience, and that's the reason why we decided to go with ECIH. So not only me as a manager, but our partner, our engagement director, as well as the consultants who are part of the cybersecurity team, who are doing day in day out technical assessments, we all decided to go for ECIH and then take up that self-paced training and then appear for the certification of the exam. And that's the reason why we wanted to go with it. Beyond that, I would say the syllabus itself is quite vast. It does not one of the merits, it does not drill too deep into the technical aspects, so that really allows us to have a wide range of people within cyber to do incident handling certification. And beyond that, since it touches a lot of different domains across network, endpoints, overall forensic investigations, malware analysis, that really gives a very good broad umbrella of incident handling, including the various stages of the investigation of how an incident handler should do. And that's something really good which entices us to draw and go aspire for ECIH. So as I told, most of the times when we go for digital forensics or incident response projects, one of the first questions which any clients asks is, look, we are in a stage of stress. We had a cyber breach, we are under a hack, and the set of people who would come from your side to help us in order to contain the incident, in order to fight with us to eradicate the incident, we need people who are well accredited and who really know what they are doing. And one of the areas where ECIH gave one of the confidence in one of the ways is to ensure that we go through a self-paced training. We understand what are the modules, we understand the toolkits, we understand the different incident response methodologies which are out in the market, which are done by industry leading experts. And that's the area where I would say the course really gave us that wide breadth of different things, what we should know of before we go to the field. And that obviously gave us that confidence in order to drive it. Now, some of the senior people, they might have already been doing incident response for years and years and years, so most of the things they would already know. However, getting that officially accredited on your CV, that okay, I've been doing it for the last 5 years, 10 years, but on top of that, I've also certified myself against a course which rapidly keeps advancing like ECIH, and have passed that exam after a set of hands-on labs, theory courses, as well as going through n number of hours of labs. And that really gives the confidence when we go, and not only from a technical standpoint to go and do a project on the field, but also when we engage actively in business development opportunities, we can confidently say that, look, we have a team of incident response professionals who are also having industry leading certifications, which includes ECIH. And that really, I would say, gives us the USP in terms of selling our proposal or the team which we possess as part of the engagement, and that really uplifts the confidence of the customer as well. So just to say, like, I've been doing incident response for the last 8 to 10 years now. Obviously, day in day out we kept doing certain assessments. I would say in a way Finally, one of the ways how it has influenced my career is I did see that after completing an ECIH, there were certain additional job opportunities which started popping up in my LinkedIn. So once I added ECIH, I saw there were a couple of job postings which came across UA and from other areas where they told that we are looking for a lead incident responder, and you are one of the potential fitments as part of our candidature, and would you like to go ahead and apply or not? So I believe in terms of career, the hands-on skill set I had already gave me the confidence that yes, I can sit for interviews. But I do see as part of certifications which are recognized globally, I think ECH really adds on that. And once I added that to the name, beyond the other credentials I hold, I could see a whole host of incident response job openings or fitments which have started coming my way, all the way from an IR manager to an IR director to an IR practice lead, and that's something really good and cool to have. I would say in a lot many ways, because the course curriculum was quite vast and heavy. It took quite a while to go through the whole book of the ECH, which was provided as part of the training, and if I try to list it down, it will be a long answer. But I think in a nutshell, how I can probably try to answer it is the breadth of coverage of different subject topics in ECH. That's something really very interesting, because incident handling, what I believe is not only knowing the theoretical process or not only knowing the way of how an incident needs to be contained, but also something at a technical level of how deep somebody can think about when investigating a cybersecurity incidents. And some of the areas where I really found ECH interesting is it does not force you to go too deep, because it gives you those starting points or the ABCs to know about incident response. For example, one of the areas which I found quite a good brush up for myself was it also covered areas such as malware analysis. It gave us some introductory level of insights into different security reverse engineering tools like OLEDBG and all. So those really gives those starting pointers to let people know that incident handling is not only about following a different process and a methodology, but tomorrow if it's a malware incident, what are the tools you need to know to dissect a malware and do a incident response? If it's a network security incident, what are the tools or the concepts you need to know in order to contain that incident? If it's an endpoint based security incident, you need to know the toolbox at your arsenal to handle those kind of incidents. So the I would say the whole width of A to Z of different terminologies, of different toolkits, of different technologies, it really gives that confidence to people that okay, be it any type of incident, email, malware, viruses, network, host, anything, yes, I have done it as part of ECIH. I know those different tools, and that gives that foundational element to a person doing the course. And then if somebody wants, they can definitely dig deeper and start going into more of the inner fundamentals. So as I told, for example, ECIH briefly gives a very good introduction to different malware analysis tools like OLEDBG and all. And if somebody really wants to go deep into that, then they can do with all their research and additional courses. But that initial foundation is something which comes from the course and sets the foundation stone for somebody to go and dig deeper. And that's something which I really liked. I would like to give an interesting touch to it. Most people would say that okay, I've done a certification and it has given me the confidence to deliver a project. I like to see things differently because that's what I've experienced. So as I told, I've been doing IR for the last many years. So one of the ways of how it gave me that leverage is obviously I knew about incident response methodologies. I knew about the technical toolkits, but I used to focus more on digital forensics, which is more of an incident which happens. You get a system, you image it, you pull out the artifacts, and you start your forensics. IR, on the other hand, or the wider incident response of not only focusing narrowly on the technical aspects of containing an incident, but how to communicate with stakeholders, how to ensure that you give them the comfort of reducing the blast radius of your incident, of how you communicate with them in terms of helping them recover, in terms of helping them contain an incident, in terms of helping them prepare in order to find the root cause of the incident. I think that holistic view comes from courses like ECIH, and that really gives me that breadth and leverage. So in some of the engagements I have done, the way how I have started seeing things differently is now I look at that whole incident response lifecycle rather than just focusing on host forensics or digital forensics. So I think that width has come into my way of handling IR engagements. Beyond that, and something more interestingly, which is in line with my career aspirations, is beyond the technical elements, it's also how we come across and convince clients that how we or I could be one of your trusted advisors or consultants to handle incident response. I think that's where that ECIH tag comes in and really helps to sell ourselves or brand ourselves. So recently in some of those business development opportunities where we were pitching proposals to clients to sell them IR services, I think one of the areas how ECIH benefited me is when I told them that, look, we have been doing it for years and years. I have been doing it for the last few number of years, and it's something which I'm not just doing out of my practice, but I also do hold industry-leading certifications such as ECIH, and that really gives me the confidence that I'm going to come and do a job best at my level as a trusted advisor for you. And it's not something that we are starting from scratch. It's a battle-tested strategy which I know and I'm accredited for, and that's the area where adding that ECIH beside my name really gives that client sitting on the other side a sense of comfort that a person who is coming and offering me to help me contain an incident really knows his stuff. So that's something quite useful and has benefited me both not only in the technical engagements but also on the business development and posing ourselves as an accredited incident response professional. Now, it's a bit difficult for me to answer because I've done so many certifications, I don't remember chronologically. So I do hold CSSP, I do hold CCSK, I do hold lots of different ethical hacking certifications. I do hold Azure certifications, beyond AW certifications. So I've done a ton of different certifications, which really allows me to go and think more from a horizontal level of different cybersecurity domains. I would say that there are different certifications even for incident response. Like formally, I did some courses for autopsy also, which is one of the tools for performing incident response, for performing host forensics of different incidents. So I think one of the ways in which ECIH comes across is obviously it's a much more trimmed down certification towards incident response. Like if I say CSSP, which is again a very, very complicated exam to clear, it gives a lot of different domains where you have to show your expertise and pass the exam. But beyond a managerial level, beyond a technical level, if there is a particular career path for a person to aspire and go more towards a very focused, I would say, incident response career path, then ECIH is definitely a good choice because it gives a holistic view of cybersecurity, like confidentiality, integrity, availability. It starts from those basic cybersecurity domains, but then it slowly starts giving a very wide coverage of handling different types of incidents. So it's very much focused for incident handling. So rather, as I told, whether it be email investigation, network investigations, host investigation, it really gives that importance to the learner that, okay, you need to know these tools, you need to know this methodologies, you need to know this technologies to do your day-to-day incident handling, I would say A to Z task, and that's something ECIH really comes across to the fore as one of the certifications. There may be many more, however I have not explored them, but just in a nutshell, if somebody really wants to go into incident handling and incident response as a profession, I would say people 3 to 4 years of experience or even above, like 7, 8 or 9, it's really good to go for and achieve. One of the ways of how I see things, I think it's kind of subjective because every individual or company who are offering incident response services to their end clients, they might have a different way of evaluating their candidates or evaluating their employees. So I think some companies might go with SAN certification, some company might go with EC Council certification, some companies might say that we don't need certification, we need more hands-on skill set. So I think it's really different the way how people look. However, especially for people, I would say not completely maybe beginners. They can be beginners, but I think people generally between the area of 3 to 8 or 9 years of experience who want to get progress to the next career level, especially when they're a part of incident response practice. I think CHFI, ECIH, CPENT, these kind of technical certification really gives a boost to the person or the cybersecurity professional, not only to ask for their progression in their career journey, but also to look at opportunities out in the market and how well they qualify against. And definitely, as I told, doing hands-on things is one part which is obviously important, but essentially when I would say industries tries to start filtering professionals based on accreditations they hold on their resume, I think ECIH is really something which is one of those certifications which really would help to break that barrier and go ahead and start applying for jobs, because not only they have been doing it for a number of years, but they also have a accredited industry leading and globally recognized certification attested to their name, and to prove that what we are doing we really know, and we have accredited ourselves by passing an exam and doing a training, and we really have cleared an exam which substantiates the level of knowledge which we hold needed to carry our day-to-day responsibilities as an incident responder. I think one of the ways of how I see things is the course curriculum is constantly updated. I think the one which I appeared was version 2. Before that, there might have been older versions which I didn't personally drill through. But I believe one of the active things which EC Council does is keep rotating and updating the course curriculum. Like the way how I started out in college, that time we had CIH version 6 out in the market, and by the time I completed my college, I started my job, first year of job, we were already seeing CIH version 8 being rolled out. So one of the ways in which I believe EC Council is really helpful is keep making sure that in terms of the changing threat landscape, in terms of changing cyber security techniques, tactics, procedures, the course curriculum is constantly being updated. And one of the areas which really is good, what I've seen as a addition is, when I was doing the course, it was not only theoretical. For example, it was not only saying that, okay, you know these technical elements, you know ABCD of incident handling, and go and give the exam. That I would say opportunity for those additional lab access which was being provisioned, where we could spun up those virtual machines and then carry out those assessments. I think that's something really helpful, because some set of people who would be constantly reading books and all might get a bit bored that, okay, I'm reading a lot, but how to actually apply, how to actually execute. And that area of getting those things to try out into that limited controlled virtual environment which we got as part of the training, I think that really helps us to try and test those tools and see, okay, how things really work. So all in all, I see that gradual proportion of enforcing practical hands-on skill sets, trying out labs, which I've seen EC Council starting to put across different certifications like LPT, CH, CHFI. I think that really gives a boost and a confidence to the people preparing for the exam that, okay, we have not only learned something, but also we have tried out as part of our labs. And with the, I would say, constant appending of course curriculum in line with the changing threat landscape, I think every periodically every few years ECIH keeps updating that course. That really helps in order to ensure that, okay, if I've done a certification which is for this year, the course curriculum does absorb things out in the market. It's not something which is 5 years old and I'm doing and appearing for the exam. So that periodic update in short is what I would say is quite good and enticing to look forward for people attempting to go for the certification. I don't factually remember because, as I told, it was quite a wide book. So I do come from an IR background, and I think most of the things, at least 80 or 90% of things, were quite aware. However, there were certain, I would say, terminologies or how we comprehend things in a industry environment. I think those are some of the brush ups or additional things which I came to know from ECIH. So, for example, how we contain an incident, there are different ABCs of doing it. Now, obviously, every organization or professional relates to things in a different way, but ECIH gave me that additional insights of what I'm doing technically. That is fine, but from a procedural point of view, how do we name certain things, how do we follow a certain sequence of instructions to do a thing? So that's something which was good as a refresher for me, as part of my overall IR existing knowledge base. I think the case for me is quite interesting because cybersecurity, most people say it's a by chance opportunity which we get. For example, we hear something, we get plotted into a company, we get a job, and we start cybersecurity. For me, I think it started way back when I was initially in school. I think I was in the 5th grade, and a movie came out called The Matrix, and that movie showed aspects about hacking, how they run port mapping, port scanners, how they run nmap tools, and also at that fundamental level, when I just started absorbing things, I think that point of time it was really something interesting for me to look forward, that okay, ethical hacking is an area which I can explore. So I started learning gradually programming, scripting languages like C++, Java, and that started giving me that foundational way of understanding things, that okay, this is ethical hacking, this is offensive hacking, this is gray box hacking. So I didn't have a formal trainer, but I used to pick up those keywords from here and there, and then start seeing how to read up things, how to ask people. Um, I think close to my first year of college, when I progressed, that point of time, I think those days, EC Council was quite popular in terms of the CIH course, and that was something I aspired to go. Obviously, I didn't end up doing it in the end, because that point of time, as a college student, it was quite I would say grueling for me, because I think that had 68 or 70 modules. But those learnings which I got after doing certain courses, about attending webinars, that started giving me that confidence that okay, these are the different domains in cyber which I need to know more, which I need to ask questions to people, or the areas where I can go and ask for job opportunities. So ethical hacking is what I started as part of my initial career. So I completed my college, I got campus placements, and that's the area where I started picking up vulnerability assessment and penetration testing as a domain as part of the whole cyber. I started working on it way back in 2014, 2015, 2016, got really good opportunities with the organizations I worked for. Slowly, I started expanding beyond just a part of VAPT or the technical elements to go more into security architecture, cloud security, application security, code reviews, so red teaming. So slowly I started branching out things and adding to my knowledge base. Over the years, as I enter my 10th year of career journey now, I have really got a very good oversight of IT and OT, both the environments, different kind of cybersecurity domains. It spans across security architecture, cloud security, incident response, digital forensics, malware analysis, reverse engineering, security risk management, cloud security. So I would say it's really very it's a career really for passionate people, because you never stop learning things, you never stop seeing things from a fixed lens. So anybody who wishes to go into cyber, I would say it's quite a very inspiring field to work for, because you never stop learning. So even if you do hundreds of certifications, you do your field work, you will feel that even if you take a pause of 6 months and you stop learning, you are outdated. So it's a very learning journey for me, because now almost 9+ years in the industry, I'm still learning things. I'm still learning few things every day in, day out, every week, every certification. So it's something really I believe I've been able to come a long way, and I continue to go a long way, and also to try and inspire people to go for cybersecurity as a career. In the last 9 years, I did start my journey as an analyst, but with the way how cybersecurity is booming, and with the way if you really prove yourself, I fairly got a very quick career progression from being an analyst in 8 years to rising up as a manager 8 or 9 ranks above, and I continue to aspire going forward, and I really believe it's a career to work for, and people who are really looking forward to continue a lifetime of studies and research and keep learning new things every day, I would say this is the career domain for you. So I did not formally do any other courses from EC Council, because I think among the various different certifications which I hold, I used to pick and choose one from every single certifying body. However, I think during my college days, when I was in my first year of college, I think that point of time, CH way back was something I was looking to go for. I took some training courses. I took some basic learning lessons from my instructors back then. Officially, I did not sit for the exam, but what happened is I think that really gave that foundational knowledge of different technicalities of cybersecurity, because it's quite a broad curriculum which it puts across for people who may be completely new or maybe very new beginners in cybersecurity. So that actually gave me those technical know-hows of what cybersecurity is, and that helped me to gain some confidence of okay, how to translate those school level things which I've heard about, or the jargon into professional keywords. Like for example, it's not ethical hacking in a corporate, what we call pen testing or penetration testing. So those gave very foundational knowledge of things from the course I did. And then way down, as I started taking a switch from only doing the offensive side or ethical hacking to the defensive side, which is incident response, I think that point of time ECIH, which I did very recently, gave me that I would say accredited confidence, and also to correlate things both from an offensive security, that where people go and break into networks, and tracing back the same, which comes from the ECIH course. That means an incident has happened, how effectively you investigate, you trace, you help the organization recover and trace back the source of the hack. So the linear path, I would say, left to right of ethical hacking and offensive security, if we turn it back like from right to left, that's what ECIH has really helped me in order to comprehend and understand. I would have a few reasons, but on the back of my mind, I think there are three things. First of all, any professional who's aspiring to go for incident response, I think it's a very affordable certification. I think people right from beginners to intermediate in the career to the people who are fairly senior, I think this really is a certification to aspire for, go for, because it's quite affordable. It's something which gives the flexibility to learn at our own self-paced way of doing things, even if you are busy in your day-to-day jobs. And that's something quite, I would say, beneficial. The second is while we keep doing incident handling day-to-day as part of our jobs, I think somewhere clients or organizations do have a greater confidence if you are accredited or you are qualified and certified. And I think ECIH is something which is globally, I have seen always clients asking for certification, and ECIH is something which is widely known and recognized. So it's something which adds that boost to your resume. And obviously the third thing is knowing and learning things. Everybody has a different path of doing it. Like for somebody it can be steps 1, 2, 3, 4. For somebody it can be steps 2, 3, 4, 5. But doing it in a methodological way, I think that course curriculum is really structured in a very nice way, quite easy to understand, easy to grasp, not too complex for people for them to go over their head. So I think if somebody really wants to learn structured way of incident handling, I think ECIH definitely is one of those very affordable, interesting certifications to go for.